Hi, welcome to Abby's Book Views. This is another book tag video, and this time it is mid-year freakout tag because it's the end of June, so I thought it was the perfect time to do this as we are halfway through the year and can't get much closer than that for mid-year freakout. First up, what is the best book that you've read in 2020 so far? So I have a few. Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I've read that this month and really enjoyed it. I will talk more about it in my wrap up. The Boy Who Steals Houses by C.G. Drews. This book I read beginning of the year. Really enjoyed it and love the representation in it and its own voices. And A Throne of Swans by Catherine Elizabeth Court. This is a semi-retelling of Swan Lake or Swan Princess, not entirely sure which one, but done in a really unique way and can't wait for the next one. What has been your favourite sequel of the first half of the year? I haven't actually read many sequels that have come out this year, but I have read an entire series, the final one which came out this year, and that series is the Truly Devious series. The whole trilogy is just amazing, and we're getting a fourth one, kind of. It's a spin-off next year, and I cannot wait for it because it's so good. Is there a new release that you haven't read yet but you're really excited to? So I've got a few for this. I have A Court of Miracles by Kester Grant, and annoyingly I've had the NetGalley arc for this for a while and I just haven't got around to it, but I have the hardcover now and it is jumping the pile because I really want to read it. Venom by Bex Hogan is another one that I really want to get to. Crown of Smoke by PM Freestone is another one that is pretty much jumping the TBR. And Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson is also jumping the TBR. What is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? I can't just name one, honestly. I've got several. So I have The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks. That is the third in the Montague Siblings series by Mackenzie Lee, and I cannot wait. The Notorious Virtues by Alwyn Hamilton. It's her new series. It is set a couple of generations after the Rebel of the Sands series, in the same world in a different country. And I am super stoked for it. I read the sampler back in like January or February, I think it was, and I fell in love with it. Cannot wait for it, and I'm really bummed it got pushed, but I am still super excited for it. And then finally, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. I have been waiting for this book ever since she first mentioned it, and I am so excited for it to come out. What is your biggest disappointment so far? For me, it's one that was pretty hyped last year at YALC, and annoyingly I didn't know about the trigger warnings in it, so that's more the disappointment for me, is because I didn't know exactly what was happening going in, and that is The Places I've Cried in Public by Holly Bourne. It's really good. It just was a bit of a letdown for me in a way. It's not the book's fault. I think it's the information out there's fault. Sorry, Holly. What is your biggest surprise so far? I would have to say the biggest surprise for me so far is the Menagerie trilogy by the Sutherland sisters. This trilogy just surprised me so much. I didn't really know what to expect going in, and I loved it, and I devoured this trilogy so fast. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Who is your favourite new to you or debut author? So I have two. Both of them have written for quite a number of years, so they're new to me. One is Maureen Johnson, who wrote the Truly Devious series. I really loved that, so she's a new favourite author that I will be going and having a look out for. And the other is C.L. Taylor. I bought Sleep when it came out last year, haven't got around to it, but I did finally read The Treatment, which is her YA debut, because we are getting another YA, I think it's next year, and it's so good, so I really want to go read all her adult books now. She's one of my favourites now. Favourite fictional crush from this year? Number one, the guy and the girl from The Shadows Between Us, which is Alessandra and the Shadow King, and oh my gosh, this book is amazing. I love Trisha's writing, but the two of them, And then also a couple of the characters in To Best the Boys by Mary Weber. Most of the time it is Ren and Lute, and yeah, they're really, really good characters. Love this book. I wish there was more. Who is your new favourite character? I would have to say most of the characters from The Boy Who Steals Houses by C.G. Drews. I love Sam. I love Avery. I love the Delaney's, especially Moxie. Picking one, I would say Moxie is probably most who I would want to be out of these characters. And Sam, I just want to cuddle and not let go. A book that made you cry. These two made me cry. This mostly was like the end, or towards the end. I cried so much. And then this one, I cried probably about halfway through, and then I cried again and again and again. My poor little heart. A book that made you happy? Definitely the Menagerie trilogy. Made me so happy. I loved it so much. It's just like, everything about it made me happy pretty much. Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills made me really happy as well. Just, I don't know, it's hard looking back now and going, why does it make me happy? It just did. And I really want to read more of her books. And Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Osman. I love this series so much. I love Alice, and this series just makes my heart so happy. Your favourite book to movie or book to TV show that you've seen so far? The only one that I know of that is a book to movie or TV show is Artemis Fowl. Need I say more? It's definitely not my favourite. So I'm just going with I haven't seen any. Because I just want to kind of blank it from my mind. If you really like the series, like book series, keep it that way. Don't watch the film. If you haven't read the book series, you can watch the film. Matt saw it, he gave it a 6 out of 10. What is your favourite post that you have written so far? So I've kind of given up writing blog posts. I'm mostly on here, and otherwise I'm over on Instagram. Trying to think of my favourite one this year. I really actually enjoyed doing the book recommendation video that I did for the LGBTQIA books. So I think I might try and do more along that line of not necessarily a genre, but something to that effect. What is the most beautiful book you have bought? Let's say I've got a couple. I'm going to go in order of like when I bought them. So the oldest one I bought is The Sisters Grimm by Mina van Praag, and it is gorgeous. It's printed straight onto the hardcover. It's so pretty, and it has pretty cool end pages as well. Crown of Smoke by P.M. Freestone. This is really pretty. And then finally, I've recently got The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant, and look at this dust jacket. And then it's blue sprayed edges because it's Waterstones exclusive, and then this is the hardcover. Just like, what is that? Like, oh, it's so pretty. End page is pretty as well. Even the title page, like, and then we have pretty maps. It's just so pretty. And then finally, what are 6 books you want to have read by the end of the year? I only own one of them. So the one that I own is Maker's Curse by Trudy Canavan. I've only just recently got this, so I need to read number 3 and then this one. And then I also have Harry the Ninth, which means I need to read Gideon the Ninth. The Damned, which means I need to read The Beautiful. The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks. The Notorious Virtues, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Those are 6 I really want to read this year, which means actually I need to read 9 if I want to read all of those. that is it for my mid-year freakout. Let me know your answer to any of these questions. Go ahead and do it yourself if you want to. I'm excited to also do the end of year tag in December and see if anything's changed. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. It would make my day. Enjoy the book you're reading, and I will speak to you soon.